And Michael, let me ask you, because some of the activists who have critiqued the film are people that I like, that I think are acting in good faith, people like Josh Fox, people like Michael Mann. And I think the core of their concern is this idea that if you make the problem so big, if you make it such that, look, we really can't address the problem without sort of fundamentally restructuring everything, then it, in a sense, plays into the hands of the fossil fuel industry, who sort of want people to just throw up their hands and go, the problem's too big, let's just keep doing what we're doing. Is that a valid concern? Is that something that you grapple with?
No, it's dangerous, actually. What they want us to do is tone this thing down, tamp it down, so that people don't become too overwhelmed. We can't just change overnight. Well, as Jeff just said, we have changed overnight, haven't we, in the last month? We are able to make serious fundamental changes in the way we live immediately if we think we're going to die. And that has forced the majority of people to say, I will do what needs to be done in order to live right now. This pandemic, this should teach us a lot about where we have failed when it comes to battling the climate emergency that we're in the middle of. Does anybody watching this think that, well, if we just get through this pandemic, that'll be the last of this? There won't be any more pandemics. The Mother Nature is sending us a huge, huge warning. Mother Nature has sent us to our timeout rooms right now. And we're supposed to spend this time thinking about how have we messed things up so bad that in this particular case, this virus leapt from a species that had been abused by humans. And now we are suffering from this. We're the ones in the cages, not the bats in China. We're the ones, I hope, being forced to think about this. And I think what you said, Crystal, is I understand. And let's make this clear. We have huge admiration for all of our fellow environmentalists and people that have worked so hard in the last 5 decades to fix this problem. The problem is it isn't fixed. And all of us, when we don't accomplish what we need to accomplish in our lives, aren't we supposed to be somewhat self-reflective, somewhat self-critical, and say, okay, this doesn't seem to be working. What do we need to do to change this? And I know they don't want people to freak out, so they don't want to tell them the real truths of what is happening. But I have seen this from my own reporting and on my podcast. I've talked a lot about how people are not being told the whole truth from the beginning. And back in the end of February, beginning of March, I started saying what I knew to be true from my sources, that this is a 2-year pandemic. That's the first thing I heard from my source at the NIH. Wow. This is a 2-year pandemic. Nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants to hear, we're all going outside in June. It's all over. It's not over. It's not anywhere near over. The 6 feet we were told to stay from each other, it's really, if you really talk to scientists who are deeply involved, but they don't know how to message this, it's more like 13 feet. The coronavirus, it can travel farther than what they told us at the beginning. At the beginning, remember, they just said, stay away from people that are coughing and sneezing. Well, that's gone. They've had to change their story a number of times. And I think from the beginning, it would have been better just to, people don't want to be kept in the dark. They want transparency. They want the truth. And I think that all of us in the environmental movement need to talk to each other. We hope this film, we wanted to ignite a discussion. That has happened. There's a lot of people in the environmental movement, a lot of our fellow environmentalists that have seriously praised this film and thank Jeff for having the courage to give us the awful truth that we don't want to hear. We don't have any more time, though, to keep going down roads that aren't taking us to this place where we are climate change, whatever that is you want. It's not really climate change anymore. We're way beyond change. We're in serious trouble. What we've all been doing hasn't worked. Now we need to talk about what will work instead of certain people in the environmental movement or certain organizations that decided to hook up with corporate America, with Wall Street. Let's try to get them to go green. Let's work with them. There's no working with the devil here. And we, the people, hold the power. We need to exercise that power. We need to demand that this issue is on the agenda in this election year, and we need to have candidates acknowledging this and ringing that warning bell loud and clear.
Well, and I can tell you
Certainly
one thing
ignited
we
discussion.
very much believe in the show is that people are adults. They can handle the truth. They deserve the truth.
Certainly.
And so we would recommend to our audience, you check the film out and decide for yourself. And really quick, Jeff, where can they find the film? Where can they watch it?
On YouTube, on Rumble Media, or on our website, planetofthehumans.com.
Great.
Well, congrats on the film, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you all
gentlemen.
so much for joining us. Really interesting interview. Thank you.
Appreciate you
Thank
all.
you.
Guys, talking to us, and the movie's free, everybody. So please watch it.
There you go.
There you go. You got no excuses.
All right.
Team, subscribe for more of these type of videos.